Peace and greetings, it's Naima, aka Simply Nima, and I am coming to you with another video. So don't mind my face. I just wanted to come on here really quickly and just say that since I talked about my physical symptoms in my previous video, which is when I talk about eating 1 meal a day while I was pregnant, I'm not going to talk about my physical symptoms again in this video. I'm just going to go straight into what this video is about, which is the mental and emotional health during my pregnancy. The difficult part for me being pregnant wasn't the physical part, obviously, but it was more so the emotional and mental part of it. If the people around you don't have a good understanding of what it takes to be pregnant and produce a child, they're not going to be able to cater to your needs properly. And yes, pregnant women need to be catered to. I don't care what anybody says. Every pregnant woman needs to be catered to. I don't care who she is. Yes, because you are producing a child, and that is a very, very, very serious process. The baby feels everything that you're feeling. Every single thing that you feel, everything that we experience, the baby feels it. I know there's a lot of speculation around that, but think of it this way. When someone experiences something in life like a loss, or they experience joy, or they're laughing, experience something funny, we can connect to that person. Even though we've never met them, we can connect to them through that emotion, through those emotions. I'm connecting with you all as mothers through my experiences and the emotion that comes with being a mother and being pregnant and going through labor and things like that. We're able to connect even though we've never met. Just imagine what the baby feels and experiences, and they're inside us. And that is why it is so important for us as women to be protected. And it's not even about, like, it is about what you go through at the present moment, but it's also about your past. Our past experiences also affect us in the present moment. So that's why it is so important to protect our little girls and make sure, like, they're not going off to some, strangers' houses or whatever and leaving them susceptible to being raped, abused, molested, all of those things. Like, that's why it is so important. So very important for women and girls to be protected. Not from the standpoint that we can't protect ourselves and we're helpless. No, it's from the standpoint that we all need to be on the same page. Point blank, period. Because we bring in new life in every single thing that we experience, how we feel about ourselves, our insecurities, everything. It affects that child. It really does.
Scientists have found that memories may be passed down through generations in our DNA. Research from Emory University School of Medicine in Atlanta has shown that it is possible for some information to be inherited biologically through chemical changes that occur in our DNA. Such a phenomenon may contribute to the etiology and potential intergenerational transmission of risk for neuropsychiatric disorders such as phobias, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder. This suggests that experiences are somehow transferred from the brain into the genome, allowing them to be passed on to later generations.
And that's why people saying, as far as slavery in the Black community is still affecting us today, because all of that is passed down through our mothers. What my mother felt when she was pregnant with me, that's in me. What her mother felt, that's in her. And it's also in me because it was in her. So it's a whole, and vice versa. It just goes all the way back. It's just a never-ending cycle. And that's why women and young girls, we are so valuable. That is not the same case with a man. There's a saying that goes, when you teach a man, you teach an individual. When you teach a woman, you teach a nation. That's because she's connected to everybody. Even I'm connected to my ancestors, not because, oh, that's my ancestors, that's just my family. Nah, what they experience, I'm experiencing. And that's why we have to protect ourselves from just being with any kind of man, And it's not like, oh, you can't be aware of your sexuality, and you can't be a woman, and you can't be. No, it's not about that. If you care about yourself and your future children, you will screen yourself from these dudes that be trying to just basically ruin your life.
Got time for that.
And because that is going to have an effect on your baby. It just is. I'm hoping I'm getting my point across and making sure like you all are understanding what I'm saying. Because I don't want anyone to be offended by this or anything like that, but it's real. Like, it's a real thing. How can we expect to live in or allow ourselves to live in an environment, and I'm speaking of like with a man that may be abusive or things like that, either emotionally, physically, verbally. How can we allow ourselves to be with that person and expect to produce a happy child when we're miserable? An apple tree cannot produce oranges. It just doesn't work that way. It is very important for us to choose who we end up with, our mates, properly, who we lie down with. Be careful. There's some women who hate the father of their child, and because of that, all of that hatred goes into your baby. So, saying all this, I'm not saying my pregnancy experience was just this emotionally horrifying, draining thing. I remember explaining to my husband what I needed from him emotionally when I was pregnant. Like physically, like he would cook, he would massage my feet and things like that. So I just kind of got carried away and got into the deeper level of it. But that per se wasn't my experience. I did experience, like I said, having some moments where I had to remind my husband or even family members that, look, I'm trying to stay positive, okay, so I can produce a happy, healthy child. I need you to not irritate me. And then of course it makes it worse because you're hormonal and your hormones are just like super high and you get emotional easily. That's another thing. And so it's just, I'm not saying you have to walk on eggshells, but you kind of gotta walk on eggshells when you're around pregnant women, because you don't know, you don't know what's gonna set them off or whatever, but just, I'm not saying anybody's gonna be perfect or anything like that. Things happen, just do your best. That's all I'm saying. And so that's one of the things that I felt was kind of difficult, like when I would get irritated by something a family member may say or something my husband may say. And it's not something that was their fault. It's just that they didn't know, they don't understand, what it takes to be pregnant or what would even set me off. I couldn't even tell them what would set me off. I just had to try to breathe and explain to them in the moment, like, look, hey, this right here irritated me a little bit, so let's not do that again, okay? Which was at the same time difficult because, like I said, your hormones are everywhere and you can get emotional very easily, and so it's hard to kind of control those emotions in that moment. And when I say control, I don't mean suppress. When you are in control of your emotions, you're able to feel your emotions, understand that you're feeling that way, but when you're in control, you're able to explain to whoever is around you what's going on without just going off on them, okay? So that's what I experienced as far as my pregnancy, is really having to learn how to control my emotions while I was pregnant and not go off on people, you know what I'm saying? So that's my pregnancy journey. Yeah, if you have any questions about what I said or any questions in particular that I didn't cover about my pregnancy journey, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, share, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Click the notification bell so you can be notified when I post my next video. And so I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.